Alright, let's start by solving this rational equation. There are two ways to solve this equation. One of them is to cross multiply, and the other one is to multiply both sides by the lowest common denominator. Okay, so in this case, let's go ahead and cross multiply so we can learn two methods how to solve these problems. So if you cross multiply, you're going to get t times 24, which is 24t, equals t minus 5 times t plus 5. And this is called difference of two squares. So the answer would be t squared minus 25. If you multiply t minus 5 times t plus 5, you're going to FOIL. So you go t times t squared, t times 5, 5t. Then you have negative 5 times t, and negative 5 times 5, negative 25. So the 5t and the minus 5t will cancel. So this is when I'm going to subtract 24t from both sides, and I will end up with a quadratic equation that I can solve for t. So you have t squared minus 24t minus 25. Notice that the 24 and the 25 are almost like very near to each other in the values. So when you factor, you're going to think about negative 25 and t plus 1. And the reason for that is that t times t is t squared. Negative 25 times 1 is negative 25. How do we get the middle term? The outer minus the inner. Notice the outer is 1t minus 25t is negative 24t. So to find the middle term, always it's going to be the outer plus the inner. And now we need to use the zero factor property by equating each factor to 0 and solve for t. T minus 25 equal to 0. Add 25 to both sides. T equals 25. T plus 1 equal to 0. Subtract 1 from both sides. T equals negative 1. Notice that the original question had t plus 5 in the denominator. So for t equals negative 5, what's negative 5 plus 5? 0. Number over 0 undefined. But we don't have t equals negative 5, so both of them should be good. Just in case we end up with t equals negative 5, you will have to reject that solution because t equals negative 5 will make the denominator 0. So as you see, the solution is negative 125. Let's go to the next one. Solve the rational equation. So in this one here, we can not cross multiply, right? We only cross multiply when we have something like this, like a fraction equals a fraction. Here we have 2 minus, so it's not going to work. So the best way to solve this problem is to multiply everything by the lowest common denominator, and that would be 3x. Because 3x is a multiple of 3x, 3x is a multiple of 1, and 3x is a multiple of x. So let's go ahead and multiply the first term by 3x, then the 3x will cancel. So this would be 4x plus 2. Multiplies 3x times 2, that would be 6x. Now, multiplies 3x by this one, the x and the x will cancel, and we end up with negative 3 multiplied by 1 minus x. Therefore, let's distribute the negative 3 by 1 and by negative x. So this is equal to 6x minus 3 plus 3x. And of course, 6x plus 3x is 9x minus 3. We still have 4x plus 2 on the left side. So if you subtract 4x from both sides, what happened? That 4x will move to the right. But if you add 3 to both sides, what happened? That negative 3 will move to the left. So let's see what's going to happen here. Minus 4x plus 4x will cancel. So that's a 0. 3 plus 2 is 5. 9 minus 4 is 5x. And 3 minus 3 is 0. Divide both sides by 5. So 1 equals x. Now does it affect my denominator? If x equals 1, will this be 0? No. 3x is 0 only when x equals 0. So the only solution is x equals 1. Next question. Notice that I'm going to use the same principle to simplify those fractions. Multiply every term by the lowest common denominator, which is x in this case. So x times x would be x squared plus multiply x times 5 over x. The x will cancel. We end up with 5. And x times negative 6. Negative 6x. So again, we move everything to one side. Let's add 6x to both sides. And this would be x squared plus 6x plus 5 equals 0. Now to factor, I want the product to be 5, the sum to be 6. So that's x plus 5, x plus 1. Because 5 times 1 is 5, and 5 plus 1 is 6. The outer is x, the inner is 5x. 5x plus x will give me 6x. If these are equal to 0, then one factor at a time would be 0. If x plus 5 equals 0, x would be negative 5. If x plus 1 equals 0, x would be negative 1. So does the negative 1 or the negative 5 affect my denominator? No. The only value for x would be 0 for this to be undefined. So negative 1 and negative 5 are the solution. Let's try number 4. Again, solve. And we need to find the lowest common denominator to simplify these rational expressions. So notice the x minus 4 and x, there is no common factor, so we take them all. Multiply everything by x times x minus 4. That would be my lowest common denominator. So we're going to multiply everything by 21 over x minus 21 over x minus 4, and also multiply by negative 4. Okay, let's go ahead and multiply. Notice the x and the x will cancel, so we end up with 21 times x minus 4. So that would be 21x minus 4 times 21 is 84. So negative 4 times 21 is minus 84. Now we have a minus sign here. Notice the x minus 4 and the x minus 4 will cancel. So what is x times 21? 21x. Right? The x minus 4 and the x minus 4. So we are left with x times 21. Equals. Here, nothing in the denominator, so we have to multiply negative 4x times x minus 4. This is equal to negative 4x squared, because when you multiply, you add the exponent. And negative 4x times negative 4 is plus 16x. And now we're going to move everything to the left side. So add 4x squared to both sides, subtract 16x. So every time you move a number to the left, you add its opposite. So we're going to add here 4x squared. We're going to subtract 16x. Okay, there is no 4x squared, so it's going to stay 4x squared on the left side. Negative 16, negative 21. These are, oh, we still have a 21x here. Oh, so these will cancel. 21x minus 21x. Those will cancel. So we'll end up with only negative 16x. Now, we have minus 84 also. Now, do you see that everything is divisible by 4? That would make my problem much simpler. So x squared, 16 by 4 is 4x. 84 by 4 is 21. Okay, the product is 21, the sum is 4, 7 and 3. So I just put 7, and I put 3. And I know that this is negative, so one of them must be negative. Since the middle term is negative, so I have more negative. I have the negative 7 times 3, because negative 7 times plus 3 is negative 21. Negative 7 plus 3 is negative 4. So you want the product to be this number. You want the sum to be this number. So I'm done. X minus 7 equals 0. X equals 7. X plus 3 equals 0. X equals negative 3. Now, does these numbers affect my denominator? This is 4 and this is 0, and none of them is 4 or 0, so both of them, 7 and negative 3, is the answer. Let's try number 5. As you see on number 5, we also have to simplify the denominator, and the lowest common denominator is x squared minus 9. Why is that? Because this is difference of two squares, and that would give me x minus 3, x plus 3. So if you multiply these two, you're going to get x squared minus 9. So any number is a multiple of itself. It is a multiple of x plus 3. It is a multiple of x minus 3. So let's go ahead and multiply everything by x minus 3, x plus 3, which is the same as x squared minus 9. So this is going to be 2 over x minus 3 equals 4 over x plus 3, and then plus 8 over x squared minus 9. So multiplying by the first, the x minus 3 will cancel. So 2 times x plus 3 would be 2x plus 6 equals. Multiplying this by x minus 3, x plus 3, the x plus 3 will cancel, and 4 times x minus 3, 4x minus 12. Multiplying x minus 3, x plus 3 by the last term, everything will cancel because this is x minus 3. This is the same as x minus 3, x plus 3. So everything will cancel, and then we end up only with 8. And this is a simple linear equation. So when we solve linear equation, we move the x to one side and we move the numbers to the other side. So negative 12 plus 8 is negative 4. Okay, let's move negative 4 to the left side. Add 4 to both sides. And since I moved the numbers to the left, I'm going to move the x to the right. Subtract 2x from both sides. So 2x minus 2x is 0. 6 plus 4 is 10. And 4x minus 2x is 2x. And 4 minus 4 is 0. Divide both sides by 2. X equals 5. Does x equals 5 make any changes to the denominator? 5 minus 3 is 2. 5 plus 3 is 8. 25 minus 9, 16. So now none of them is going to be 0. So 5 is the answer. Let's go to the next question. Number 6. Same thing. We have to multiply everything by the lowest common denominator. To simplify the fraction, it happens to be x squared plus 2x minus 3 because x squared plus 2x minus 3, if you factor, the product is negative 3, the sum is 2, so that's going to be x plus 3, x minus 1. Remember, I have more positive this time. That's why I chose the plus 3, because 3 times negative 1 is negative 3, plus 3 minus 1 is plus 2. And let's go ahead and multiply everything by each term to simplify the fraction. So we're going to multiply x plus 3, x minus 1, multiply by every term, 1 over x plus 3 minus 1 over x minus 1 equals x plus 1 over x squared plus 2x minus 3. Multiplying by the first, the x plus 3 will cancel. X minus 1 times 1 is x minus 1 minus. Multiplying by the second, the x minus 1 will cancel, but we have a negative sign. So negative times x plus 3. Let me just leave it as negative times x plus 3 equals. Multiplying by the third, everything will cancel. The x squared plus 2x minus 3, remember it's x plus 3, x minus 3, so they will cancel. And we are left with a numerator, which is x plus 1. Notice here, we also have a linear equation because there is no square. Let's simplify the parentheses. X minus 1 minus x minus 3 equals x plus 1. So x and minus x will cancel. Negative 1, negative 3, like signs we add. Negative 4 equals x plus 1. Just want to get rid of this one. Let's subtract 1 from both sides. And therefore x equals negative 5. Final answer. Does it make any difference to the denominator? It does not. So negative 5 is the final answer. Let's look at number 7. On number 7, solve the given formula for the specified variable. We want to solve for a. We want a to be equal, not z equals. So that's very simple. Let's go ahead and find z equals x minus y. Remember, every time you have an equation like this, you want to simplify the fraction. Multiply everything by a. So that's going to be a times z equals a times this a will cancel. So be x minus y. We don't want az, we just want a by itself. Let's divide both sides by z. So a equals x minus y over z. That's the final answer. X minus y over z, the final answer. Alright, let's do the next one, number 8. Solve for m. You can write it here. So we have s over m equals u over v, and we're going to solve for m. Remember what we said about cross multiply? Let's cross multiply, see what happens. So you have mu equals sv. That's what we call cross multiply. We want m, we don't want u, so let's divide both sides by u and we're done. So m equals sv over u, and we just isolated m. We're done. So m equals sv over u, final answer. Number 9. One pipe can, see what's going on here. So one pipe can fill up a bathtub in 6 minutes. So we have 6 minutes to fill up the bathtub. A second pipe can fill it up in 12 minutes. 12 minutes for the second pipe. Alright? If the tub is empty, how long would it take to fill up pipes? To fill the tub, if both pipes were to fill it up. Okay, if we have both pipes at the same time, of course, because this will take 6 minutes and this will take 12 minutes, together it should take less than 6 minutes, right? Together it should take less than 6 minutes. Now the best way to solve this problem would be, if it takes 6 minutes to fill up the whole tub, in 1 minute it will fill 1/6 of the whole tub. Again, if it takes 6 minutes to fill up the whole tub, this is the tub, takes 6 minutes, so in 1 minute probably it will fill up this much, which we call it 1/6. Now we're going to add the time, the 12 minutes. If it takes 12 minutes to fill up the whole tub, in 1 minute it will fill up 1/12, right, of the whole tub. Now what if it takes x minutes to fill up the tub when these two guys are together? So in 1 minute it will fill up 1/x, and that's it. So let's solve for x. Again, we multiply everything by the lowest common denominator. In this case, the lowest common denominator is 12x. And always the lowest common denominator is divisible by 6, that would be 2x. It's divisible by 12, that would be x. It's divisible by x, that would be 12. So when you multiply the first, you're going to divide 12 by 6 is 2. 2x times 1, 2x. 12x times the second fraction, the 12 will cancel, x times 1 is x. 12x times 1/x, x will cancel, and we end up with 12. So 2x plus 1x is 3x. Divide both sides by 3. And of course x equals 4 minutes. And that's logical because, again, when you use the 2 pipes, the minutes should be less than 6, and that's what we have. The 2 pipes will fill up in 4 minutes. The last question. Mark can paint the fence in 15 minutes. So Mark takes 15 minutes to paint the fence. Now, Manny can paint this fence in 30 minutes. So Manny takes 30 minutes to paint the fence. If Manny and Mark work together, how long will it take to paint the fence? So again, If Mark can paint the fence in 15 minutes, then in 1 minute he will paint 1/15th of the whole fence. If Manny can paint the whole fence in 30 minutes, then in 1 minute she will paint 1/30th of the fence. What if X minutes takes them both to paint the fence, then 1 over X will be painted in 1 minute. 1 over X of the whole fence. Common denominator 30X. Let's multiply everything by 30X and then solve for X. 30 divided by 15, 2X. 30X divided by 30 is X times 1X. 30X divided by X is 30. So now 2X plus 1X is 3X equals 30. Divide both sides by 3, X would be 10. And that's minutes. Okay, good luck.